There we are. Yeah, because you can see the previous session, we had 2 rolls in a 3-hour session because they're having a bit of a conversation. Right. So, a few things happened last session that thankfully did not confuse my players in the slightest. We will return here.
I never have an idea what's going on.
Well, don't worry, we'll change that. No, we won't. Here, beneath the city of Alosso, the haphazardly constructed gate by Black Lenas, who now has been consumed by a smaller soulstone or pact stone, stands here active as a gateway to the fallen world of Severnus, once coveted by the similarly called Council of Severnus, but also a world where once a warrior was betrayed and consumed by rage in an haphazard attempt to save his people from oblivion. Now stuck halfway, ascension and damnation. This creature you have come to know as one who walks among you was given life again by him. Or was he? Was he instead perhaps a conduit? Something aiding its desire to return home. There is, of course, a plot here. The guardian of the Pact Stone, Sathiane, was defeated, but his soul still bound and not consumed. Here he endeavored, together with Black Lenas, to open this gate and seemingly lure the first to awaken to this place. On the sidelines, there was Kirksarin, who sent apparently a simulacrum to investigate what had destroyed his armies and what was going on here. He was happy to be an observer, up until the point where Cassius Brecker pulled out the null sword, forged to thwart divinity. And Cassius, you, in this moment, you grabbed it and still hesitate to use it on now the looming avatar, this gigantic, impossible figure, a dark mass that is still, well, now retracted from the gate, but first try to engulf it with its hands. You start to feel the hatred and the need for destruction course through you, through this blade. The knowledge that you can, in fact, stifle divinity. And Nolan, you, having summoned what appears to be Anthe's spouse, Sithwe, doing so by touching the Pact Stone, you, again in these fractions of moments, are now starting to reel back from what you have done. There is not a power, not an effect, not a curse. There is only knowledge. You perfectly know, rationally, pragmatically, know what this thing is capable of. And you, as a pursuer of knowledge and someone who is involved with arcana, who has studied these things and can conjure, you can even manipulate causality with the power of your mind. You touched that stone and realized that all you have ever done in your life is but a laughable side note, a small addendum to what is coalesced here, with simply a thought and a touch. Why, you could reach deep into the arcane core without any filter made by man or God. At the same time, Dario, you saw what happened. You saw that Nolan used that stone for good, to try and solve this problem as a demigod stands behind this gate and a damned world is a literal step away. Cassius, you as well are standing in these dead sands. You have seen it before in this fake reality, this prison that was guarding Null. Now, you are not dreaming. You are not in a figment of imagination. You are standing on that soil and looking upon that dark sky. Boris, you hold the two of the chains that hold your god, but they have been depleted of power by Kirksarin. Why? Here you are standing in front of this creature. And only a few moments ago, less than a day, you were standing before your own god, made of light. Now standing in front one, made of darkness. That's it. You all share in this memory, as suddenly you see the ghosts of Sithwe move and walk over to what you still know as Gord Grimbeard, this faceless, white, humanoid shape that has been standing catatonic, taking the pain of the avatar of Anthe. The ghost walks forward and places a hand ephemerally on Gord's shoulder. You see her pass through somewhat. And you share in the vision that this place was once a vibrant underground city, a shelter. You see her memories of this place, research stations, armories, soldiers sent to the above, in a world without true gods, simply humanity fending against demonic incursion as the world was slowly losing. You see a home, perhaps more comfortable than most, she must admit. She was important, a scientist, trying to find the solution, some hope. And there, she and the man called Anthe, his real name passed through the ages, gone from even her memory.
Eugene.
Likely.
Sorry.
And Gord dies.
Horribly.
Horribly. Screaming for hours. There, she raised a son. A young boy of maybe 14, 15 years of age now. And this place is all he's ever known. Training like a soldier, learning to be a scholar. Perhaps something more. That's where we left off when Anthe spoke and told his son that he had to tell him about the origin of Helios. But that is where the memory stops. As Sith now takes control, you all are spectators in this room. A strange circular chair, a place that looks like a kitchen, some toys, computers, a desk filled with research papers, all reminiscent of the things you saw at the island. A modern setting, one of technology more than magic. And she turns to now a large man standing in the room, no longer Gord. Strong, military, tall, chiseled man, but wounded, scarred, with drooping shoulders, tired. Somehow not diminished in strength. She turns to him. You were about to tell him, but you don't remember, do you? Because this isn't you. In the corner of your eyes, you see still the shape of this large creature behind the gate, starting to straighten and back off from the gate and the stone. Helios had been a secret of the old world, a glimpse of what we could have been if the world had not ended. And we found it, me, Peter, and the others. It always had been unfinished, and it had always been left waiting. It was a protector of our one certain power source, and was chained to that very purpose. And when it found a flaw in us, it intervened. It saved a child that would have been corrupted would have been corrupted by what you were becoming. Yet in this one action, it overcorrected. And she looks at her child playing in the next room, and showed what it had truly become. The first god humanity had ever seen, worshipped since the dawn of time, the sun, given sentience beyond any expectation. Divinity, pulling from the arcane core and intervening in the realm of mortals. It was the cage we built that gave it a frame to manifest, and the cage now holds it back and constrains it. This is what you should have told our son. Instead, the entire room is engulfed with red light. You hear sirens blaring, calling to urgency. You see people immediately start to run outside of their houses. Here in the memory, but around you, you still see rubble. Something was found on Severinus. Something that had all the parties rattled. We never found out what. And you see her sag down, and you see a ghost with tears on her face. Because this was our last day. You were called. I stepped through that gate one last time. And then you were betrayed. Before Helios could awaken, gods from other realms came to this earth with their followers to protect us from what you became. Were they right to fear you? And what of your rage? Our son was rescued by Peter. And me? The last thing I heard was you calling my name. And you pulled me away halfway to the next life before the gate was destroyed. So let's go in the shape that Gord is. And walks back to the packed stone. And faces now the creature beyond the gate. The stone is here. Your betrayer is here. Is this the moment where a choice is made? She looks to you, Daria. Are you willing to trust what remains of my husband to save your people from torment?
What's the price? I don't know. What do you expect of me? Of course I want to save my people, but my people, in this grand scheme of things, don't seem that important anymore.
Yes. We've not met. But I know the blade you wield. I have protected it for so long. I've known it to be a solution. The reason it was forged was fear. But what is your purpose? The outsider that you are, do you stand for justice? Or are you simply driven by fear? Is it all to end here? Or are you simply to stand vigil?
I don't yet know. I hope I'm strong enough to do what is right. Because now that I have an understanding of the true extent of what this is and what wielding this weapon means, I know that no one should probably wield it. And yet here I am, with it in my hand.
Boris, do you invite the second god of humanity's making, when yours is still stilted in infancy, bound to that same fear, that it even reaches the other gods?
The rights of Helios will point the way.
Then she turns and looks at you, Nolan. Do you even trust me? A mad scientist of a long-dead era? Do you trust that anything I've told you is the truth and fact? And that things have remained static throughout the ages I have known? For I have no new information to give you. For I remain bound to the knowledge I had.
What's your son's name?
Sianya.
All right. I do trust you. And you can take hold of my body once again. If you can stop this madness by doing so.
Something up. Gord, I'm going to break my rule that I stated before the session. You stand here, having heard all of this. You no longer stand inside, but you are standing in front of this gate. You see your wife. You see the home you knew. You see the souls that were stolen from you, and many more still that are crying out for salvation. You have been angry. You have raged. You wanted vengeance. You wanted to go home. Here stands the gate, and there lies your vengeance. You know now these people throughout standing outside of that gate. You know these people, for you have been given the memories of the one they lost, or the one you saved. You're a soldier. You've done your duty. What action do you take?
Fucking hell. Now I am as Ante, but I remember Gordon there.
And everyone else, yes.
His
And you heard
experience.
all of this because Sith was addressing you.
I am angry, but I am not lost to only anger. I gave Gordon his moment of rest with Calendula. He's still there's still something else inside of Ante except for anger and hate and rage. And I think this connection to Gord gave him a window into another way, and he saw love, the love for the dragon and the love for his friends. And if I have the choice, I would try to make things right and stop this eternal rage, this deep anger that's took hold of me. And seeing my wife and thinking of Cianiel, that would also trigger that memory of another time of love, of kinship, and I still think I want to maybe set aside vengeance and go back to protecting, to doing the right thing. I think Ante is deep down more of a protector than an avenger. And he would try to do the right thing and release those souls, I think. I hope.
Okay. But does he still want to go home? Or does he want to stay in this dead world?
I think, yeah, he still wants to go home. That's what he longed for so long. And if it's not a death sentence for that world, yeah, he would try to go home back to his wife, to Sithway, and see if he can right that wrong he did to her.
Okay. So I want you to roll 2d20s for me. Because this is still a game of DnD.
Let's pause it to building.
And I will tell you. Your roll is Bella, which is poetic.
Yeah. Huh? Didn't. Okay.
Okay. I rolled for his desire. The first, the returning of the souls. And the second, the return home. So all of you, except for Gord, see now the form is not diminished, but a hand is now reaching out for the packed stone. Any action any of you take?
Well, my action wouldn't be a physical action. I would rather, well, look at Sitwe and just ask her, is your husband evil? I have not seen it yet.
Is he evil?
Is he a danger to this world?
Everyone always thought so, even before he became what he is. He took a piece of him through that gate that never returned each time. Fighting those demons, he became stronger than anyone should have been. And he was feared by everyone. But he never wavered. He never lost control. Until that day.
Gonna
I'm not
try
doing
and
anything.
body block the packed stone
I was trying
from the hands.
to do the same.
Okay.
Stand in front.
You may move.
I cannot see the map.
Yeah, the map.
You
is not
can't
there.
because
Yeah,
I hadn't
it's-
activated it yet.
Yeah.
Whoops, the doodles.
I was still far away from the backstone. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
well, you
stand
can
away.
make it. There has been narrative moment to do so.
Oh wait,
I
I'm a
will
bear. Can I
also-
even talk to Sitwe?
You're
Yeah, she's around.
I
No
assume
place
the
to get
hand
on the
is
map, but
other side.
I think it's an beard.
Yeah, I'm a bear.
Shoot.
yeah, true. Let's say that Ghosts talk telepathically anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
Can
I
I
am going
also
to. No,
go
sorry.
ahead?
Can I ready an action
Sure.
in this moment, and then I'll ready an attack on the hand if and when it looks like he's losing control, or if Sidway says something like "No, husband, don't," or just
Sure.
I'm gonna trust it for now, but the moment it looks like it's going not the way we planned, because Cassius is trusting Gord, who's presumably still in there somewhere, to influence this.
Okay.
But the moment it looks like Gord does not have this, or it's looking back, he will attempt to make an attack.
Okay. So
Can
Boris, yeah.
I'm gonna try and open up and sense whatever power of Helios is around, and if I can siphon it into the sunstones in one way or another.
Okay.
Hang on. I had my moonbeam over the over the backstone, right?
Correct. Yes.
So don't walk into it.
I'll say it's wide enough that it's just still applied to the packed stone itself.
Okay.
Boris. I will say that these stones are currently inert. They have been depleted of magical essence. However, you get a sense that, much like how this gate was constructed, the same logic applies. You can impart energy to it. However, you are uncertain what the effects might be. You saw Nolan touch the gate and just being something taken from him for just a mere touch. There is a balance to be struck. So if you want to bring a closer power to, or activate this device that you're unsure of the application, you certainly can try.
I'm just trying to, because I know Helios is near. Do I feel raw light power or something that can guide me in the way? Can I grab or do I feel the air tingle with? Just trying to get a sense for the situation that do I know where it's going from? Do I know where it's coming from?
Make a religion roll for me.
Not good.
Right now, you are in a place where the literal barriers of the world, the literal fabric of reality is at its thinnest. You are standing in front of this demigod, and you know your god is tasked with protecting this world. Somehow, your god seems distant the closer you are to Anthe. This is definitely the other side of the coin.
Okay.
So, is your intention to stop Anthe from touching the stone?
Body blocking at least, and I'll see when he gets close what I can unleash or block or strength or whatever.
Nolan, what
I'm
are you
there
doing?
with
Yeah,
my
go on.
fairies.
All right.
Yeah, with my fairies.
I want to stand well in between Ante and the packed stone and reach, stretch out my two hands, one towards Ante and one not just not in the outside the range of the moonbeam to possibly touch the packstone again.
Okay.
And because the hand will be first, I will be touching the hand first before the hand will be touching the packstone. And
Okay.
well, Nolan's interest in Ante is very peaked with the presence of Citwe now here, and he wants to deduce, or he hopes to deduce by touching Ante, if he can rationally conclude the intentions of this being, if there's still, if the soldier that protected is still there.
Okay. The impossibly large hand reaches, and its perspective doesn't seem to make sense as it now shrinks to the point where it can reach through this gate. You see this hand expand, and as it reaches through the gate, for a brief moment in this space, you hear ancient alarms go off that then immediately sputter and die with their last breath as they warn of something. The fingers are reaching. The movement is slow, hesitant. As it reaches for the stones, Nolan, you are within reach. Do you try to touch him? Yes or no?
I don't think your mic registers your answers if you're short.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see you move, that's why. Yeah.
Yes.
And you need to put it closer to your mouth.
All right.
Apparently.
Wonderful Discord.
Need the mic.
Okay. So you all see Nolan standing there and then reaching out, and his hand somewhat disappears into the tip of Anthe's finger. In that moment, you do not see this avatar, but you do see this large soldier. And what you also see is somewhat more thin soldier with blonde hair standing next to him. Whispering in his ear. Lords, Nolan, and Seth. Nolan, you see them standing there. You see the soldier at the cusp of the gate. Gord, you are standing here, and you are almost home. And there is Seth. You can hear him. That's all it takes. After all this time. Just one more step. You're home. That's all you need to do. Is just one more step through. All that's happened, it'll all be washed away. You'll get everything you deserve. Rest, your family back. All for a single touch.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Silence, snake. What do you gain of this, foul betrayer?
Mistakes were made. You know, a lot of things were happening. So, I took a decision. Who knows what would have happened the other way around? Do you really think you could have taken on all that was coming? Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
words are poison. They don't mean anything to me.
Yeah. That's the problem, isn't it? Once it came down to it, you didn't listen. You just did. That had people worried. You're a one-man army. More now than then, but maybe even more if I hadn't done anything yet. That's when Seth notices you, Nolan. Yeah. Tell me what you saw, Nolan. Tell me what you see right now standing in front of you, huh? And you're
No,
muted as
with
well.
me.
We don't hear
Yeah.
you.
Nope.
Nope.
No?
Ja.
Die laatste wel. Ja, nu hoort hij ons niet.
Nu.
Bad connection in the microphone, I think.
Wonderful.
I see a demon poisoning the mind of this being.
I have paid my penance. Shouldn't I be allowed free too? I've been shackled to this damn thing for longer than you can imagine.
Whose fault is that?
But here I am to settle the score.
I will try to grab Seth by his throat, make him shut up physically.
Okay. You all see a moment where the fist closes. And Nolan, you are still making contact. The pack stone turns red. Yeah, that's right. Get angry. That's all you're good for. That's all you're good for. Prove it to all of these people, huh? You're just bad. You want vengeance. You know, the heart.
I'll put my other fist in his mouth just
Yeah,
to make
no.
him shut up. Just, just make
Somehow
him
I
shut up.
sense that violence is not the answer here, but just putting it out there.
It's still deep. He's like clawing through your fist. He's still there. Robin's still on that world. Find him.
Wie was er al in de world? Dat heb ik niet verstaan.
Rahaz is still on that world, he said.
Trahas.
Ahas. Nolan, what would you do if you were me?
Do I see now in the big soldier talking to me?
You see
Do
him
we all hear
holding
this,
Seth
by the
up in
way?
the air.
Doing his best not to squish him completely.
Do we all hear this or not?
This is Nolan. He touched the entity.
Do we see anything happen to Nolan?
You see Nolan. Actually, I will say everything Nolan says, you guys hear because he's just talking.
Is there interference with the Trahas marquee I once had, or it disappeared? But
The moment Rahas is mentioned, you do get a full body chill, like something runs down your spine, and you don't know if it's PTSD or if something is really happening.
okay. What would I do? Well, I for sure wouldn't give this creature what it wants. To touch the pact stone.
He's a lying snake. You can't trust him. If he tells me to go through or not, it's all manipulation, Nick. I want to stone. I want to go home. It's been so long. So
You cannot go home with this demon in your mind.
Okay. I'm doing the right thing. I'm protecting him. I don't know what to do.
The demon aside. Be rid of him.
Mm,
What can I do myself? Can I just push his throat all the way through? How powerful is this soldier?
The hand you have now as the person you were is enough to cover his entire neck, and you feel it is real to you. This is the physical body, or at least a memory of it. And you hear him struggle and just laugh with whatever breath he has. I betrayed you. I made you what you are, and I prevented you from being worse. I'm the hero here. You're the monster. You're the demon. Look at you can't even look at what you've become. You don't even know.
do we still see the hand move or not?
You see the hand in a fist and stopped. You see Nolan standing there. You hear everything Nolan is saying. And you have this connection between the two. The hand is standing still hesitantly. You see this monster of a creature behind, two red eyes staring down, but static and contemplative.
I'm gonna try and
Uh.
also block off the hand together with
Please.
Nolan.
Well,
Okay.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
as I've done many times before, together we can solve this problem. And I'm talking to Ante, not Seth. We can get rid of this demon. Become one with me.
Right, positions. Count me, and I grab hold of the arm
Okay.
just to keep the
So-
old man's soul intact, because it's gonna be fractured in so many pieces, probably.
I've done it before.
There's a
This-
space in his head reserved for extraplanar entities. It's all
Yeah.
got a nice corner.
Yeah. It's Nolan's soul is a shattered mirror that's been duct taped one too many times. So, Boris, you step forward and touch the hand. And in this interstice, you step forward and now also see the soldier, Seth being held by the neck, and Nolan standing there in conversation. Immediately, the soldier looks at Boris because you see the same color of your son's soul.
The same color as my son or son?
As well, I'm talking to
Both, probably.
Robin. Yeah, both. Yeah,
Both, actually.
yeah. Correct.
It's
I do not need to correct you. You were right.
Yeah, wow. How do
So
you
I'm
respond to something
Robin,
like that?
his son.
I think your god is somehow his kid.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah, that would break him, seeing the light of his sun, his energy is. I think that would break him. It would release the demon, just let go and and fall to his knees.
Boris doesn't know what the fuck is going on, so in theory he doesn't know what to do.
At first, yeah. Daniel, are you back? Is that you? And then he sees, no, it's Boris. And he knows of Boris, right?
He has all of Gord's memories.
Perhaps I am not the defender the world needs. Maybe it is Daniel. And he will grab Boris by his shoulders. You have to free him. You have to get him back. If you promise me this, I will leave your world for what it is.
Aww.
And I will do what you ask, but release my son. I believe he is a true hero you need. He's far better than me. For he's the light. And I am wallowed in this darkness for too long. I don't know if I still function.
Can I get a dramatic stretch and get an extra channel divinity?
Roll religion with advantage here at the cusp of all of it. And you,
Oof.
14, you feel, although light suffuses you and these guardian spirits still surround you, that the light here is being dimmed. You are in contact with this entity, but deep down you realize you are still being shielded from him. He is trying to reach out, but you feel a pressure, a emotion, a torrent of emotions that is barely on the cusp. It is barely holding together. And there you hear the gurgling of Saf, where, no. You idiot. Helios is corrupted just as much as this one. You think you're the only one? This is a god without a manual. This is a god without tenet. This is a god that will do whatever the right person says. Those chains, they're there for a reason.
Does that mean I get a channel divinity, or do I need to
No.
use something else? Okay. I reach out to not the demon, but the other guy, the human, the big human. I touch him. May his light ever touch you, and I cast light.
Okay. So, this pinprick of light, you cast it on him, or?
I touch his shoulder,
Yeah.
and in comforting, because I get the feeling he just needs somebody to just tell him, it's okay, let's go, we got this. And I already pushed so much power that I have nothing left to make my big Helios chisels go off, so I do the bare minimum I can that's involved with light to at least give him that pinprick.
Yeah. You feel in this tiny little thing. That's the sun. The first time in so many millennia, you just feel the gentle caress of light in a world you were wallowing in darkness. What effect does that have?
You see a single tear drop from his eye, but also a tear in that same light. It's like that light spell transformed into the tear that he's slowly feeling other things than the rage. Maybe he doesn't have the sense that he has to be the defender of this world, like I said earlier, but maybe Daniel is a better candidate, and it has him reconsidering of going home, especially because of what Seth said. Can I make an insight check on Seth if he really
Sure.
wants me to go through?
Sure.
I just use Gord's insight, I guess.
Yeah.
Or easy. Yeah.
Well, so you look at this thing you're holding. You look at your friend, the one in your mind, he is still your friend, because the betrayal happened, well, millennia ago or an hour ago. You were already past that point where time matters in the slightest. And you don't see your friend anymore. You see a hollow husk, a spirit, a demon, clinging to life, to meaning, shackled by that thing he created. And I will say something that maybe he hasn't realized yet. For in what he is now, that fear that Seth has for him, and the power you can have if you wanted to. Maybe you could rip Seth from that stone and only leave him Robin, I'm allowing you to play a demigod right now.
I cast Meteor Swarm.
Done. 10th level?
Yeah.
I was about to say, you're a demigod, he's only a demon.
Yeah, I think I can take him easily. I want to rip him. I want to rip him from this world, and maybe banish him into this desolate plane.
Okay.
And just curse him to the existence I have lived for millennia.
Okay. So that means touching the stone.
Yes, and I also think he would want to do the right thing and release those souls if he can of Dario, because he now knows Dario and he's has a certain affection from him in a non-homoerotic way, just to specify.
Putting it out there only makes it worse, Robin. Just don't
Yeah,
mention it.
it's weird that you felt the need to specify that.
Yeah. Happy Pride, everyone.
Don't
Nothing
be
wrong
weird
with that.
about
No,
it.
no, nothing wrong with that,
with it.
but just not.
Just shut up. It just happened.
First
Let
fan
it
art
go.
is just Gord and Dario.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mister compliment op mijn deur. Heb ik een
Oh,
secondje?
there he is.
Whoop, there it is. The woke police.
As he comes back with like a costume change of like a demigod.
he's been working on that for months now.
It's Robin. He can hear you. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, true. He's running up now. So, by the way, I will say, in his absence, he has said he wanted to do that, but you guys are seeing now this change in demeanor, right? And of course, the reaching for the stone. So, the actions are yours.
Do we, since me and Nolan get the front row seats, do I
Yeah.
see why he wants to touch the stone, or do I get the intent, or
Hasn't said anything openly.
So Dario doesn't really get the situation, but he's looking at Gord, not so much as the hand. To see of, well, you said the demeanor change, but can Dario assume or
Yeah, you
so
see.
is there a tell? Is there a tell?
Make an insight roll on a giant shadowy hand.
can I also get insight
Why
as
not?
I'm closer?
Sure.
Oh boy.
You see the hand is now stopped. It had stopped and is now going forward towards the stone again. Okay. Boris, you see a shift in demeanor. You see he looks at Seth with an anger, but then looks towards the stone and you realize he has come to a conclusion or put something together. And I will say, Cassius, you get this, you see a hand, you're not in contact. You see it going from hesitation to careful reaching for the stone.
Yeah. Obviously I don't know what's going on, but since I don't see Boris or Nolan go, oh no, stop him, I'm just let
All right.
it happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I-
move closer because I don't know what's going on, and unless
Sure.
someone tells me, I'm gonna
I-
hold an action and maul the hand if it's come closer.
Okay.
I open up, let my defense drop, and step away sideways to give him open room, and spread out my arms to give him the lane he needs.
Okay, I
Okay.
do see that.
Yeah.
That would change my action.
So,
And my
Nolan?
whole posture says, let him go, let him do it.
I look questionably at Boris, but that's all I do.
The light
Just watching.
shows me.
Are you sure?
The light shows me.
At that point,
Uh,
when Boris, you say this out loud.
Yep.
Then at that point, I will move my moonbeam.
Don't screw me over, Robin. I'm really trusting my gut feeling.
Robin is niet alle.
Robin is not here
Okay.
right now, Gord is here.
Yeah.
So I will additionally say, addressing Ante, I never had a father that put faith and trust in me. You should do now. You should. I will allow you. I'll allow you to give. I give you the chance to do this for your son. Seeing what Boris did.
yeah. So, the soldier is moving forward. The finger is reaching. And they, at the same time, come to the pact stone that is on the very edge of the portal. So, how does he do it? Standing in front of the pact stone, it has turned red and it almost looks angry. You still have Seth by the neck, and no. It will not help you. This will only feed you more, make you less than what you are. If I'm gone, the stone needs another guardian. It always does. What do you do?
How do
Who
I do
hears
this?
How do I do this? Crush.
Hey!
But I know the stone is not evil. It's its master that's evil, and there are still souls in there I want to protect.
You hear them.
So I hear them, I feel them, and I'll put. Wait, I'll touch the stone and I'll put a tentacle of my energy, a hand of my energy in, and through all those souls try to find Sath and try to find his neck over there and try to
Right.
grab him out
Can I
forcefully.
cast guidance on him?
Sure, sure. Cast guidance on the Elder God, please.
You are a bear right now, by the way.
Yeah, well, I have to drop. I have
Yeah.
to drop my form.
So no more bear. There is no
Yeah.
bear, only Dario.
Also, why did we correct the tentacle part? There's something. Are there elder gods here? I'm getting worried.
Yeah. All right. So I will say, roll, Mr. Gordon. Roll just a d20. Add a d4. The stats are mine to decide. See if you can find a single soul amongst many thousands.
Plus deze is D4.
D4.
Guidance D4.
D4. Kan ik dat zo rollen? Ja.
Okay. You all see the finger reach, and the finger is multiple times the size of this stone. And as it touches it, you see tiny little streams land into the stone, and you hear a cracking, a creaking, as the red in the stone starts to move from left to right, trying to dodge every single attempt. You, Nolan and Boris, you hear screaming from Saf. No. Yeah. You have to stop him. He's now looking at the both of you. Stop him. This is... He'll be
You created him.
and there you find him. A single different soul. Between all the screaming, there is one that is only hiding. You all see the pact stone. A single one of the crystals turns bright red and breaks off and falls to the ground. Staff disappears in your hand. And you all see a single tendril, a red one, shoot away from Anthe into the red crystal. There is a calmness in your mind, a stillness. Your anger is less than what it was.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout. I'm gonna shout because I'm assuming I grab the situation somewhat. I'm gonna say, toss him into the gate, toss him far away, throw him into the abyss.
I guess you can do that, no?
Well, I could.
Who has a high charisma score, Mr. Paladin
Well,
Charisma
where
Man?
would where would the fragment be?
It's still a backstone. I ain't fucking touching that, man.
Yeah, well, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Say I
well,
tore
Ook met die
tore.
aanraken, hè?
Let's say I tear a piece from my druidic ropes. I'm gonna try and take the red crystal, wrap it in, and
Okay.
toss it into the gate.
You, even through the cloth, you don't get any effect from it, but you start to feel angry. You start to feel really angry the moment you start touching this thing. You every eve, everything that has been building up. Fucking rat. So he ran. Fucking bastard. I should probably kill him. You start getting murderous. You start getting really angry. You don't hear a voice. It's just your emotions are starting to become real intense.
So I toss the stone very angrily.
Okay. Make an
Because it's
athletics
just-
roll. A guiding bolt has been cast 3 minutes ago, by the way. I don't know if that's a thing.
That was annoying me when he was screaming at me, and I was like, "Fuck off! I'll give him advantage on you." I don't know. It still
Okay.
needs to be played out.
Sorry, I missed that completely. A
No problem,
17
you
from
were in the zone.
Dario. The lithe elven boy that is not the strongest. You just see him grit his teeth, become red in the face, and just throw this thing with a primal scream you've never heard from him.
Tom Brady.
I'm gonna shout, "That bloody coward!" And I'm talking about Rash, but I'm just throwing the stone in anger.
You see a stone hits the red sand or the black sands of Severnus, past the avatar of Anthe, further than you imagined anyone throwing that. And as you do, that was weird. Your heart rate slowly. Well, there's still a modicum of stress in this situation, but it's no longer 200.
I'm gonna look at my trembling hands from rage. I'm gonna look at the avatar and like I'm not gonna say anything, but some sort of understanding. Like now I know where your anger came from. It wasn't you, not truly you. There must have been. He just takes your anger from you and multiplies it.
If I may,
That's the-
and they're touching the hand, Nolan and Boris, and I'll move a finger towards Cassius and I'll move a finger towards Dario.
You see now these fingers stretch out to meet you.
I'm
Tentacles.
gonna touch it with my hand.
I will touch it with the hand that is not holding Null.
All right.
I'll just high five it. Puff.
Okay.
You're already touching, right?
So
I released you to give you space, man.
Yeah, that's what I. But I would reach to anyone who is not connected.
Calendula as well.
Sure, but I don't think she will touch it. In a
she
million
is
years.
starting to back the fuck off like you people are nuts.
Yeah.
Different god. Cassius, as you reach out, your hand goes through.
Yes, I can't be affected by the divine.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And in fact, this is important. The moment Sath was tossed aside, the stillness comes over you. And you know Cassius was there. You know Cassius But what did he look like again?
Right.
You forget Cassius was there, and you don't really even remember who he was. He was holding something,
Cool.
but you don't remember him anymore. It was important. You really, even in this moment, you realize there was something important about him. And Cassius, you reached out in friendship, passing through. Oh,
Yep, it's back.
you
Right.
recoil.
This is not
And
great.
I need you
Yeah.
to make a charisma save.
Constitution. Oh, I thought Constitution.
Right.
I
Would
have
have
to
been
make a
better.
charisma save.
You have, you
I
have
I think it's
fine
charisma or
abilities.
wisdom. I forget, but I think it's charisma.
I don't know what I'm.
Everything is
aiming for,
charisma
but
with Johan.
charisma
Amazing.
save,
If it's about divine elder god shit, yeah.
Ooh, not
it's
bad.
Okay.
not bad.
It's not bad for you.
Is Gord still a paladin who gives me +3 on saving throws because he's near me?
Gord is a
Or
demigod
is
right now. We
Gord-
can give you
Gord
plus
is not here right
Gord's-
now. No, Gord is.
Gord is
50.
currently not in the room, and he's out of range anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, then it's a 14.
Yeah, but you are still keeping your mind. You are disgusted. You don't want to be here. You want to be fucking gone.
That's fair.
But you're not yet losing your faculties.
Never mind. Okay, that's cool. So basically, what you're saying is I rolled a stealth roll so high that Gord forgot I existed.
Correct.
Wow. It's a dream of every rogue.
For the viewers at home, this is one of the features of Null called unseen, unwanted, undetectable. To the gods,
Yes.
the wielder or its weapon does not exist.
Wow.
So is he a complete god now or still a demigod?
Yeah, potato.
He has divine in him, but the divine in him was suppressed.
Is my guiding bolt, by the way, shooting after the
The red crystal.
piece of pact stone that went through the gates, please?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll say
Let me make
roll
the
the
Hail Mary
damage.
shot.
Yeah, so you roll the attack and see if you That's not bad. So yeah, you hit, roll the damage.
What are we doing?
Tells me that leading.
He's shooting a crystal.
Shooting the red
14 points of Helios radiant damage. Arc passed. In the arc that Dario was, because it's a little retroactive, in the arc that Dario was throwing it, a bolt of holy Helios energy shoots through Severnus, the first sunlight this world has seen in millennia, hits the stone, and it shoots it into the horizon. A little pinprick of red light fading into the distance.
Team Rocket. It's like Team Rocket, like.
Yeah, except took me out.
I wasn't
Some
going to
child
do it.
Severnus
I
is gonna
wasn't
find
going to
that
say
in
it,
one
but
of
yes,
those-
that is
yeah.
exactly that. A little twinkle on the horizon.
How to
Chat
spoil
is
the.
blasting off again.
Er zijn al die serieuze dramatische momenten dan onder
Well, you know, kids these days are ruined by the internet. We were ruined by TV shows.
Hey, we held
Just deal
in
with it.
for quite a while.
Yeah, you held on. I'm proud of you guys. It's good.
But again, very poetic.
Yeah,
Very poetic.
well done.
Yes, first light on the plane.
Yeah, Helios is the first light, first sunlight in many millennia, eons even. So now there still stands a packed stone, returning to its natural blue color, and you still hear the screams of clamoring souls, confused souls that do not understand what is happening.
Can I restore them to their rightful place, to the whatever happens to souls, to their souls, what they would have passed?
So you,
Do I have a connection
Yeah.
with him now?
yeah, all of you
Yes, I
can
wanna-
see now the same soldier Seth is gone, and you see now this ridiculously large man still hunching over the packed stone
Okay, because I
and
wanna,
reaching for it.
if I'm connected to him, I'm just gonna say, is your anger gone? Did I throw it away? Can you help me find souls of my brethren? I can help you. I want to help you. But it's my responsibility as well.
Anger, rage is always a part of me.
It's normal. Anger is a normal feeling. Especially what you may have. I can't really grasp what you've gone through. But it must have been something dreadful. I am angry as well. I'm very angry at certain persons, my master and Rashanidre. But as long as the anger doesn't control you, you're still human. You're still yourself.
Today I felt something different in a long time. There is still hope.
I can only imagine. I only held that devil for one split second, and I wanted to destroy everything I knew. You have kept him at bay for so long. It's hard to imagine.
I
Then I
see
just
wisdom
say,
in you, Dario.
I say, welcome home.
Perhaps you should be given a judgment, for mine has been clouded for so long. And can I give Dario my hand,
Mhm.
touch the stone, and let him be the judge of the souls? Let him be the channel for my power, and bring the souls to their rightful place.
Okay. So Daria, you feel this man's hand, this real calloused boulder of hands, grasp yours and gently place it on the stone. Something you did not want to do. You've touched those cold crystals, but there is no repulsion. That is nothing compared to the strength that Anthe wields. The repression, the resentment of the stone is gone. And you feel the screams of those souls. You feel their pain. And there are thousands. But somehow you are protected. Daria of the Anilindada, you reach down and you can feel your mind piercing this. You still have this promise of the stone. You could make everything you ever wished for become reality by using these souls. But that desire is no longer a temptation. It is a horror. You sense thousands of your people, elven spirits of the Feywild, ancient beyond compare. Many have been reduced to nothing more than that. Spirits of the wild, maybe, if they are released, for they no longer will be sentient souls. The stone has taken too much from them. But there are others that might find the material realm again. Aside from that, human souls. millions, reduced to mere figments. So many more still survive.
Okay. I don't exactly know how I should do this, but I'm just gonna try and focus my mind on not on a single soul, but on the souls I can divide from one another, the groups, and going to focus on this feeling or well, I can feel my ancestry connection, and well, I'm gonna try and free them towards well the Feywilds or the place the souls should go to.
And with that guidance,
Maybe
you
I
feel, yeah?
maybe is there this feather that Nolan had to block Russia and Idre from going on the ground?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Nolan to give it to me. It may help because it was a Feywild.
And Nolan's muted.
I assume you said I'll give it to you.
Give it to him, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just gonna hold it
Okay,
because it might give off the energy I need.
good. I will say, you can roll whatever ability you wish with advantage. And there is a flat bonus. And we'll see. Because you have,
Wanna roll nature? I think that's I don't know. I send them back to the place they belong. To the
all right. Roll with advantage.
do I add a guy? Maybe.
21. All of you watch as the stone itself starts to crack and crumble. The very crystal is turning to dust as it falls to the ground and disintegrates even before hitting the tiles beneath. Slowly, you see wisps shoot past, hundreds and hundreds, barely perceptible, as the stone shrinks, shrinks, and shrinks more, until finally nothing remains.
Okay.
I will pull out the fragment that I have and either give it to them if it's not also included in this crumbling because it is a part
It
of
isn't.
the original. Okay.
It isn't included, but if you reach for it, you give it,
I will
then
once I see what's happening, I will make sure that those souls are also
Yeah.
part of this releasing, because I'm assuming that's what's happening, because I don't see any of the people or conversations other than my
Nope.
compatriots, right? Yeah.
You hand over the stone, and the same thing I say will happen. However, a few of those shoot free to whatever afterlife, but many more of them as well go straight down. As that stone too turns to dust in your hands.
I just drop my knees to the ground and I start crying. I did it. We did it.
I put my hand on
Finally.
his shoulder.
Is someone who said that the backstone disappeared.
Can't believe it. Is Gord back to himself or not yet?
No? Because
Gordon
in
here?
the back,
Yeah.
you will see that the shape, this changeling of Gord Grimbeard, turns to dust as well. All the materials and everything there
All my
falls to
loot.
the ground. Yes. Don't worry, we'll
No.
keep it in a neat package
Someone
in
pick
this
it
little.
up.
Yeah.
Course, yeah.
That's some really good gear.
Yeah.
Gord, I'm gonna take the boots of flying. No.
You're ripping apart like a
It's-
pack of hyenas.
Loot court. It's what he would have wanted.
I was
Yes,
tonight.
indeed. In his memory, it's what he would have wanted.
Yeah.
I miss your
I
Gord.
was-
I miss your Gord.
So remind
I
of the
was-
swords behind them.
I made these boots in his honor.
I was denied the glove of ogre power from Enromas. Nobody's getting any fucking loot from Gord.
You will now, Stith, who's still also there and has been standing in the background, will walk over to this figment of her husband. And Gord, well, Anthe, you see her approach you. She looks at the pile of gourds and I think you've taken enough from him. I think you should show these people to their friend. And you know where he is. The landscape around the gate starts to change. As if someone is taking a carpet and rolling it down. The gate itself is moving along as you are all static in this circumference. The platform on which the gate is built does not move, but the horizon does. Away from where Stath disappeared, suddenly you all see something different. A crystal dome appear and roll forward. There is a city there. Now, in this moment, you are standing next to your wife, still on the other side. You remember the broken soldier you found being assaulted by the swarm. And you remember him needing your help. And you saved him. But in that moment you were greedy. Because this one had memories of a world you did not remember. And you indulged in that. You took a piece of yourself and let it run free. What a beautiful journey it has been. That was pretend. So, I will allow you one final decision as this entity. As Gord Grimbeard was a persona of this demigod for a while. Who shall he be now? Freed from his rage, What path does Anthe take?
Zijn allemaal niet gewoon met dobbelsteentjes rollen, dat spelletje niet. Is Sithway is still beside me?
Yes. And she doesn't
I
look
will
like a
turn-
ghost when she's standing next to you.
Yeah, I'll turn to her and say, is it too early for me to go back?
No one's waited longer.
I want to go home so badly, but I don't really feel complete.
Find something, and I will address him. And the curious mind of Nolan, having studied as a child religion and now the arcane, he will try to pray to Ante. Do you feel something?
What do you say, Nolan? What is your prayer? What
Oh
is
boy.
the first
boy.
prayer
Yes,
that the
indeed.
god
That's what I was.
Anthe?
That's what I was going for.
We're gonna get evaporated, aren't we?
Nolan going, so how does Boris do this? Is it like this? Or
I'm
like,
his
no, it's
first
like it's
follower.
this,
It's-
right?
Yeah, indeed. I'm hello. I'm a huge fan. No,
I'm gonna be a first follower. Yeah.
Kira Kira.
And so Nolan has subscribed.
I will just pray. I never prayed seriously in my life. I never liked any of the gods I've been taught in school. Maybe you should be the first I can trust. I will give it a try.
Nolan, roll religion with advantage.
Ah, this is going to be good. Please.
Religion
the
is
power
in,
of
so you should
faith,
be fine.
Nolan
Oh
saves
yes,
the lives.
I have very nice
I can
religion.
cast it.
Oh, shitty rolls.
You roll like shit because you're not used to this, but
Religion is an intelligence-based skill.
yep,
And
theology, right?
Weird.
I just give a disappointed look to Nolan.
Well,
he's your father.
having spent so much time around Boris, having indeed connected these two disparate worlds, you are taken aback by your own sincerity. This shiver goes through you, as this is not about faith. This is about hope. And you look as this man stands before you, next to his wife. And although it is difficult to focus on his face, as he is hard to remember, you do see a smile. Says, what, Gord? Or Robin at this point.
Dus ik voel zijn gebed.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels kind of nice. Ik vind het fucking moeilijk.
I know. I'm giving your the
Yeah.
future of my setting is in your hands.
Ja,
What did God do? What did he do?
Nolan was not even sure it would work, but he's being sincere in his attempt.
Nolan had faith and it worked.
You can always say, "Bring me your brother and sacrifice him." Something.
Hmm.
Bring me your firstborn.
The fat man for that.
I'm 78 years old. I'm impotent.
Bovenal beminde in God. Zou je niet uit.
Yeah.
So my options are if to go through the gate, but then I need Gord's body. Is that
No,
correct?
not necessarily.
No, not necessary.
You
I-
are deciding your intent. The
And do I have
intensity.
an idea what the repercussions would be if I would go back home, if I would go through the gate?
No,
I have no idea.
you have no idea. That is one thing this divine being does not know, for it has not been home. But you are potentially, well, the title of Anthe is the first to awaken. The first mortal man to reach for godhood. Not a concept, but a human being. And you come to a world with other gods. But not in anger, not in rage. And you have one follower.
That's true. Eigenlijk. Nolan atheist. Does brew.
And I become Pope and the arch arbiter of your religion.
Ja, dan kunnen we...
Yeah.
We're gonna come back and then show up the other archbishop
I mean,
guy. Oh, you were an archbishop? I'm the super
I have a
pope
rival who is
supreme
Pope.
of...
I have a rival who is Pope, so I want to show off.
Yeah.
And I don't like the arbiter of the Camaradomin, so I also want to show off.
You are the super pope 3000 of Ante.
Ik heb mijn DM trouwens gezien.
Nee, sorry.
Het is maar iets
Ik heb, ja, ik heb 18 berichten
Ja,
aan de mensen ondertussen.
Tuurlijk.
It's a question and it says, can I smite Nolan?
I will stand like this to receive the holy light of Ante.
We can certainly talk about that, Gord, and you can decide what happens there, because I'm giving Ante to you at this point. But we don't have to do that in session.
Yeah, but can I do something that leads to that, or
Yes. I am no
Okay.
problem with that.
cool? Yeah, I think Ante would want to go home. He would want to release Gord for. In the end, he helped him see the light, or see some insights. But I think he would want to go through the gate then, and maybe would ask Sithwe, "Would you stay with me?"
I always have. After all, me still being around here is kinda your fault. And she'll embrace her husband.
I'll get you some flowers. Yes,
As-
then Ante would.
As you say that, around this cave, flowers start to bloom.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh.
Well, that's a nice start.
Then Ante would. He would try to release Gord if that's just a wave of the hand, or I don't know how that works.
You reach out and you sense him being in that city, he is safe and can be collected by his friends.
And then I will touch. I see Nolan stand in front of me, and I will touch him in the chest. And Nolan will feel a surge of energy through him. It hurts a little bit. It burns a little bit.
You now have the mark of Ante.
Cross meteor swarm.
And then I will go to Dario, and we'll do the same. I will touch you in the chest, and energy burns through
I'll let this
inside of
happen,
you.
but I'm gonna be very confused as to what this is.
And I
Why
will
would-
go to Boris, and I will do the same.
I feed you back the light of your sun, I guess, if that's possible at all.
And Cassius, I cannot see, right?
I don't
No.
exist.
He doesn't
No.
don't
exist.
know.
Yeah.
You've touched the
Bye
three
bye.
friends
You're
that you
excluded
have.
now.
You don't get molested by the god. It's okay.
This has been a very confusing 5 minutes for Cassius because half of what's happened he's disgusted by it.
Maar
or
ja, iedereen
completely
is nu
unaware.
door de portal, maar Cassius niet, of wat is die nu?
Well, depends what everybody's doing. So I
Did we
guess,
step through the portal?
well, in order for this to happen, it's all in proximity of the gate. The gate is continuous. It's just instantly to Severnus or back. I will say that this can happen around the gate. You've been pointed in the direction of the city that is standing there. So yeah, if that is all, then Ante can
I will
step
still-
through the gate.
Yeah. I would like to address Sitwe. And I think we should keep in touch. I think you have many stories that should be written.
Then perhaps if you keep your prayers, I might come and visit now and again.
I sure will. And I'll turn to Ante. We'll keep in touch. You won't have your regular follower though.
Like
Will be a very, very first weird one.
It's gonna be a very weird religion.
that is a good question. Actually, a thought. What kind of god will Ante be? There's
Is that an
nothing
open
more.
question or a question to me?
That
That's
is an open question right now.
Yeah.
If there's anything else you would like to do, otherwise, I shall take the reins from here.
If we go from his followers, split personality. But
No, I think
Yeah.
he has decided
I
he
can
wants to
still
go
shape
home.
my god.
Yeah, he has some hope, and he wants, to
Okay.
see what happens and restore some of the damage he has done with Gord.
Can I still speak to them, or like do they
Yeah.
not even know I'm making noise? And
No.
But
It's
I know
only
you, right?
you are a person. You are very much there.
yeah, no, I mean,
Except
but
for the god.
I meant specifically Sidway and
Oh no.
Ante. They will never hear
No.
it, right? I'll still say it just for everyone else to hear. Cassius will say like, I'm trusting you, but I very much hope I don't regret it. And they don't respond because, as far as
Nope.
they're aware, I don't exist, and everyone else hears it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's funny how you're literally on the outside of this story. Like now, it's like literal.
this is very poetic. It's
Yeah.
incredible. It's great, really. I am a rogue who's become invisible to gods. They cannot see me even if I tried.
Wait, does that mean Ante is a girl? Are you invisible to all girls?
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
gemeen, Robin.
Wow.
Die was slag.
Ja.
and here he
Dat
goes
staat niet op de
stabbing again.
protocol,
I'm so
Ja.
sorry.
Dat is gewoon omdat de
Speaking
enkel
of which,
zelf-
heb ik sneak attack damage op Ante? Want ja, hij ziet mij niet, hè, dus ik heb permanent advantage.
Yeah, you are
Eigenlijk.
indeed always hidden from God, so you always have sneak attack on gods.
And I would forget you stabbed me, you know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, that hurts.
Must have
It's
been the
like-
wind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think the sword works? Like, how can you get to a god and slay him? It was just like, oh, that hurts. Oh, I'm dying. All right. Yeah.
Hey, what is
Yeah.
that feeling I have? It's pain.
Like,
I don't...
oh, yeah. It's like,
Darling, there's
Oh.
rot stuff coming out of my body.
Those are some nasty mosquitoes this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will remain invisible to gods. Not that I have a choice. I will at some point, after everybody's done, just kind of ask someone like, so what just happened? And
Well, I'll say
Where's
the
going?
exit. I will
Yeah.
give the exit. So you do see this this black entity with red burning eyes slowly diminish into the form of a soldier. And a woman standing next to him. Not a ghost. As he steps through the portal, it is as though they fade into light, and the shadow dissipates. In but a moment. No song, no angelic choir, simply a presence coming into the world, for good or evil, still to be decided. And then you can say what the fuck is going on.
I'll ask my compatriots, the ones that touched him. Like, okay, I hope we did the right thing. I didn't catch most of that, but I trust your judgment.
I'll
There
just
was-
answer. Oh yeah, go ahead.
There was not only rage within him, there was also room for love. And I
We-
think we hopefully birthed a god who forgets his need for anger and vengeance.
We threw away the anger that was sad, and hopefully we made place just for to be himself again, the good person he maybe once was. I didn't see any evil in him, just a human with feelings as anyone. I cannot yet say what we did today with just now truly was good, but at least the evil presence that was always looming over us, over our friend, has dissipated. I think that's good. I think it's time to get our friend back.
I have one concern. I fear the thing you threw into Severnus, now miles away, probably unfindable, still poses probably future danger.
Yes,
There
well,
are still people that know of Severnus and
yeah,
will probably roam this realm now Ante is gone. If they find Satyane again, they will create new problems and a new
I'm
backstory.
gonna look to the ground and like shake my, just shuffle my feet and say, I just figured out it maybe not the best move to throw him away, because
On the other
maybe
hand-
what he is, he is still a Packstone, but I just don't want that Packstone to be in our realm.
On the other hand, we gave them a god that can protect instead of a.
I can only hope that, well, as long as Ante did to get onto this realm, at least it'll take Satyane twice as long. That is a while.
I disagree,
knows?
but
So now you're all staring into a gentler Severnus, no longer a creature looming above. And only a few hundred feet away stands a domed city, unlike any you have seen before. Some of you have seen similar architecture underneath the earth once. This is not fallen. This looks vibrant. And you have a sense people know you're here. As you see something coming towards you, a vehicle of some kind, a boat perhaps, but it has wheels. It's like a cart, but it's going too fast. You see a car. And on that vehicle sits a number of very strangely clothed men that look very similar to Anthe in their garb. They have strange devices, helmets, and everything like that. And they stop, look at the gate, click a device on their neck, and start speaking to each other in a language you don't understand. But then they perform another action that is strange to you. And very loudly, from a distance, you hear them shouting with an amplified voice like they would use thaumaturgy, but it is seemingly mechanical, it's said. I won't keep doing this, just for setting the scene. You there! People around that strange arch. We just got a message on all channels to expect you. The watcher above the city is gone. And I suppose you fellas might be able to give us an explanation. You are invited until we figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay.
How far away are they from us?
At this point, maybe like 200 feet.
Okay.
era is it?
Then I just start moving towards them.
Yep. I sheath my weapons and I follow.
I want to get my friend back.
Same. Can I sheath null in any way, or is it just permanently fused to my arm?
It is, you are holding it in your hand, and you feel as though you can't let go unless you want to try. And that will require the save. You have been holding it for minutes at this point.
Yeah, it's been gripping it very tensely because I wasn't sure if I needed to use it or not. And
yeah.
I will try and let go.
Okay. So if you have the stat sheet, remind me what the save was again.
There is no save.
No? Okay,
It just
then.
says if you do not have an empty attunement slot available when taking hold, it will remove an attunement from a random item on
Okay.
your person and take its slot.
So, then I think it's in the affliction, right?
Yeah, I can't see anything here that says I can.
Ah, yes. Make a charisma saving throw, please.
I am not particularly great at those.
Yeah. If somebody wants to help him,
I cast guidance.
okay.
Guidance is only
This
an
is how
ability
you
check.
remove the sword. Just
It's not a saving
open.
throw, right?
Just
Guidance
open your
is not
hand.
a-
And I will say, if you can see Cassius trying to get the sword out of his hand, someone can assist him. Because I know this is a difficult role.
Guidance is a
Really?
divine spell, so it wouldn't.
It would not do
physically-
make me
anything.
nauseous and-
Physically help
Yeah.
him or what?
Physically
Yeah, I
helping
ain't
him
touching
can,
that.
yeah. So
I ain't
guidance
touching
is not
that
going to
sword,
help.
man.
I'm not going to touch him because I just made a connection with the god. I do not want to lose
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
will.
No, I'm just gonna put one foot on the sword and tell someone else to let you. I need you to help me pull on my arm.
Okay, so
Because I know I'll take extra care to not touch anyone with the sword because I do not want to curse them to.
Yeah.
Whatever I am now.
so Dario helps you, so you can roll again for advantage.
That would be a charisma save with advantage then.
Well, you rolled already once, so just roll again
Ah,
once.
yeah, there's the second one. Yeah, okay. Ooh,
Hula!
I cannot roll higher.
You can't, which is good because the DC is 18.
He barely made it. Ik heb daar een mine in op, hè.
Yeah, that's why I gave you the advantage because I have a second sheet called Null's Affliction that details the things
I am
happening.
sure. Yep, that.
And it says Bound Eternal, first
Yep.
stage.
No,
so
this
the-
was. I was
yeah.
either it was either this or I was going to become some kind of immortal
Yes.
guardian of the sword that would
Because-
forever be forced to. Yeah.
You can't try again after you failed for another 24 hours, and then things progress.
Yeah, but things get worse. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you do take 2d6 slashing damage.
Oh yeah, my part of my skin.
2d8. Yeah, 2d8 slashing, which is a stupid roll. Even a commoner would have survived that. As you hear the crunching and breaking of flesh as Null gets torn
Don't look. It's fine. It's fine.
through the gloves. You see the dripping of black blood and dirt as the skin of Cassius is still attached to the hilt of this.
That looks
He's
bad
just
for
gonna like
Cassius.
heavy breathing and just going. Thanks.
Oh,
Are you alright out there? You need assistance?
Don't worry, he's fine. Just dealing with stuff.
And then I'll put the sword. I'll wrap it up
Okay.
in some kind of.
And I'll go stand in front of
Stuff
him
I have,
to
and
cover
then-
him from side.
Put it back in my bag of holding where I've been keeping it the entire
All
time.
right. Okay.
Did I get
So-
all my spell slots back?
No.
Ah,
You could have asked the Pact Stone for it.
yeah.
So, you get the first level in Cleric.
Also wel geweldig zijn eigenlijk.
Mage cleric hybrid.
yeah, no.
Oké, krijgen wij
Je hebt een
alsjeblieft
voice
een level up. Gewoon zodat Nolan die
Well,
multiclass kan
I
pakken.
will
don't
say,
No, because
after,
I want to have more spells.
after helping ascend the gods, next session you will level up. And there might even be a little extra for helping ascend the god. But that is not for me to decide. That is for someone else to decide.
En is Gord dan nog level
Om die
6 of zo, als ze dat terugvinden?
Yes.
Of level
No.
5?
no.
We're gonna whoop
I
your
will
ass.
say Okay, so here's the thing. You get taken on this strange magical device that rolls around the dunes of Severnus with these very perturbed men that look very, well, men and women that are just staring you down a little. You
You
come
look
to
very
the...
strange to them.
Yes, and especially the guy with the bleeding hand.
Yeah,
You come to the base of this immense dome that, from a distance, you didn't really grasp it. It is miles upon miles large. And underneath, there is a stone set wall. Above, you do see the buildings rise up into the sky. And you are left through these gigantic doors, and you see all manner of weapons trained on you, and also on the outside. And there you come inside, where you see a blue sky projected with clouds, as if you were on Earth. Buildings, clean air compared to the dust and grime of Severnus. You see streets of immense size, hundreds upon thousands of people. You see these vehicles run through. You see things flying in the sky, mechanically made. And you see a vast expanse contained within this dome. And all of them human. Not a single other race here. You also, Cassius, see banners of a familiar now face. The face carried by Gixer.
Oh boy.
Where he hides.
You are taken to a building that again spans to the sky. It is immense, made of steel and glass and concrete. Something that even dwarves would probably be flushed about. But not down, but up. Strange concept for dwarves, I'm sure. And there, and I will say for brevity, you probably took Gord's stuff along with you, and it's not just lying back in the depths of Alossa.
looting him is what he would have wanted.
We kept his
You-
dancing sword.
Yeah, he doesn't know he has that. You are put into a small room. Also, I will say, Kalendala is with you as well. She's gotten a few looks, and the people are disturbed. You also notice that everywhere you walk, the areas are being secured and contained and closed off. You see people in the distance, but quickly there are tarps being put up very hastily, people shouting, and again, a language you don't understand. And then you are brought to this place. You come into a room. Nice size, very strange looking chairs and tables. And a woman is standing across, staring out of the window. She's got short, white hair. Looks a little pale, maybe a little sickly, but human nevertheless. Wearing a uniform of some kind. And she turns to you for a moment, staring you down, looks at the dragon, but is the first person not to flinch. Motions you to the table. So, she looks to these crystals in the corner, but they look to be eyes, like mechanical eyes. And she motions to one of the eyes. And the lights on them fade.
It's magic.
Well, honestly, and she speaks your language without device. People here don't know what magic is. But I guess I shouldn't really put a facade and all the accents and all that. Hello? I'm sure all of this is strange, but I suspect you've had a much stranger day still. Your friend is here. He has been for a couple of days.
Days.
But there's... Yes. There's a few things you need to understand before we can proceed. My name is Litha. And if you were to believe me, I come from a place called Felix Lustrum.
Okay.
If she's
But
telling the truth.
the people here don't need to know that. In fact, the less they know, the better. Because their day has been very interesting as well. The creature with 2 red eyes that has been standing over this city for as long as they can remember in living memory is gone. Went to some place over the mountains. And then the sands shifted and a strange arch appeared. And you lot as well. So, I know that you know a man called Kirksarin. And I also know that things are a little bit more complicated with him here. I know he's the enemy, because he made me what I am today. And for a moment, all of you start to look. She hasn't really taken a breath, unless it was to talk. You see,
Can
her
I-
skin is a little grayish.
Can I gauge her intentions or
Well, you can roll insight. She is guarded and doesn't yet know if you are a threat or not. When she says that Kirksarin is the enemy, there is some bite to her words. Like she wants to tell you much more, but not now.
our only intention at this time is to get our friend back?
Good.
Kirksarin is on the lists, but it's not on top.
It's just that I'm using whatever leverage I have gained here right now to give you these few moments. There is something in this city that I still need to figure out. But the people here want answers. They've examined your friend and realized he isn't just someone who's a little short.
Can we get him out?
You can. You just have to play along.
And what do you give as an insurance?
Absolutely nothing at all.
What do you expect from us?
On this planet.
This has all had him a little rattled. He's not an absolute power here, because he needs to do something. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what he's doing. He's playing the game. He's playing along with the world that these people know. Not as a wizard or a sorcerer or one
Are
who
we
has
still
conquered death.
mentally connected?
Yeah,
Should
you
we,
would be.
I mentally ask to Cassius, spread the word? Do we need to ask about Ciano, or do we keep that info for ourselves? As he's linked to Helios, and it's the power of Helios that Trixerin is looking for indirectly.
Pass that message along to the other 2 people, because I'm assuming the gourd I made the connection with is
Gone. Yeah.
not present. Yeah.
It's a deity now.
Who does not know I exist, so it's definitely gone in that.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah.
Because either we play open cards, or we just go along and see, and we just make shit up as we go along, like we usually do.
I would just go along. Don't tell
I'll just
her too
ask
much.
her, like, what do you have in mind? What do you expect of us when you say play along?
Well,
That's I asked, and
yeah. The narrative around who you people are has only just begun. There have been a few leaks about your friend's presence here, and he said some weird things to a few people. So this place is slowly becoming aware that there is more out there. As far as they know, they're the only thing that was left of humanity, of civilization.
So just like our realm, past events have been forgotten here under the protection of this dome.
Yes.
I see.
And some strangeness can be expected to be believed, considering a strange thing above has been staring at the base for a long time, and that the world beyond the walls has been fraught with demons and creatures.
No one ever wondered why Kirkserin lived this long and has always protected them, their forefathers, their grandmothers, and he never aged.
Nolan,
That's the
Gord
thing.
has been gone for days, not weeks or months that we traveled.
But Kirkserin has been here ever since the creation of the Crystal
we-
Dome, and
Gord-
they have had thousands of years.
How long has the dome been up?
That I actually don't know. There's a couple of guesses. But by the way, since it's been, you guys have been going around also and everything with little mutant gourds. That's not been more than a week, I think, right?
Yeah, I guess so. The moment he struck a deal, that's the moment he was in the hospital bed.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. He's never used this real name before. This is new. He's always been present, but he's always taken new guises. As one ages and dies, he becomes the next guy. But ever since about 20 years or so, he's been using his real name. And we don't know why. So, he can't act against anyone or risk of exposing. You gotta see that, I keep slipping into the American accent, which is probably what she would do because she's not used to using a real voice. I just, this place, it sees everything. Everything. So any little transgression, any casting of magic, anything you would do would probably be recorded somewhere. So your little chaos might give us an opportunity to act. Prod and poke, see what happens, and see if it actually threatens him. That's what I'm asking for. But you can just leave. We were
If you expect,
requested.
Kirksaren has been on our radar all this time. If he
Ex-
proves to be weaker here than in our realm, I think it's time to act, don't you say, Boris? I look at him.
if you expect that kind of action from us, there's two conditions. We need our friend back, and we need rest, preferably in that order.
Please, rest.
Before the thing above left, well, it left, and a few moments later, every device that can display any sort of text gave us orders to let you in, give you back your friend, and not hold you to any obligation. This is my request. So, without further ado, and she will signal, the door opens, and Gord, you have been kept away from, you've had strange interviews, people asking you about your life these last few days. You've given them honest answers, I do believe, but always wanting to leave, but never being allowed to. You've felt awfully hollow, sad, homesick in this strange place. And the days have sort of blended together. Some days no one even came to ask you anything, and simply you got a meal, which was okay, but bland and human. Your request for alcohol denied. Or you didn't drink, right? Not a dwarf.
Yeah, or doesn't drink, yeah.
Yeah. But, no. It was satisfactory, but you were getting restless. And then you also felt a little abandoned, for no one ever tried to send you any messages arcanely. If that would have ever happened, that would have been very interesting if somebody went to send a sending to Gord.
Because it would have
Yes.
gone to real Gord and not.
Yeah, but I
Blob
always
Gord.
assume that whatever we said to the Gord Adders somehow would connect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thing is,
Gonna drop the
moment you
news that Black Lenas is dead.
well, I will say, the interesting thing and the last gift of Ante before ascending, you step into that room and you see your friends. And in that moment, something grabs you. Like a nausea comes over you. And you all see this gray spirit shoot into Gord. You hear Litha scream, "What the fuck?" And you take the memory of all that has been Gord up to this point.
I look at Calendula and I say, "Can we see him now? Can we see him?"
The
Good
second thing that happens as you're reeling from this shock is you get tackled by a dragon.
Oh, I will just cuddle her forever. I'll never let her go again. Oh, just
Dragon
oh,
choke.
yeah.
I'm going to Gord. Give me back my money.
Yeah, sure. Nolan still owes me money.
What? No, I
Nolan, give
don't.
him money.
No, if
This-
Kalendula grapples you down, you start enjoying her, well, hug. I just reach out my hand and I pull you up.
I'll give Dario also a hug and come on, guys, I need a group hug.
Welcome back, my friend.
Does Gord still remember Cassius?
And I guess
I will
I
say
got all the
yes, because see, this is
That's
interesting.
complicated.
The entity that imparts the memories was not a divine being, because it was the changeling spirit.
It was the blob. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. So
it's
he knows who I am.
yeah. How we're gonna clean up your character sheet is a different thing, but we'll look into that.
while I'm hugging Gord, I pat him on the back and I whisper in his ear, "We nearly killed you. It was very close.
It was okay.
I'm very glad we didn't have to do."
Yeah, I
And just
remember
hold him a bit
somehow.
closer.
Yeah. Do you have some food on you that's actually good?
Is this so dreadful?
Boris, are you wearing my winged boots?
No.
Give them back. Come on.
Yeah, I'd say someone gives him back his stuff.
I will say he can gear up again with all the things and a few extra things, namely a flying fucking sword and all those things, which you remember buying oddly. Yeah, you
I'll
are.
start counting my money and seeing everything is accounted for. And
It's all gone. It's all gone.
Yola wants to try something, and he will take out one of those 3 mobile devices he found,
Okay.
and he wants to just see
Okay.
if maybe just seeing other devices like this, if it works. Or
Okay. I will say just roll investigation for me.
Even for this world, they should be ancient now.
It can't cut
they
it.
have like these cell phones, and they have these tiny ones.
Yeah, it's just
They
like.
have smartphones even now.
Wat? Heeft er iemand een micro-USB-lader? Nee, fuck.
wait.
Allemaal
So,
andere
no,
fischjes.
that's-
Nee.
It's
Does
like,
anybody have a
yeah.
charger?
Or maybe it's worth a lot of gold.
They were a lot of money.
It's got one of those handles you can like. You have been toying with this thing, and you've managed to get it like halfly operational with a little bit of an arcane boost here and there. And for the first time, you see all the options light up, and you see it trying to connect to something. And right as you see something appear, lightning fast, except for Cassius, you see the movements. Litha moves towards you imperceptibly, except Cassius, you see her move and you see her like negotiate the area, and before you can even intervene, she just reaches for the device and shuts it down.
What are you doing?
That we can talk about later. Securely. That is very interesting you have that.
Okay then. Party pooper.
And with that, you hear in the background a voice, the voice of Kirksaren on a screen coming with a message. My friends, countrymen,
Oh boy.
it is Still with some confusion, I will admit that indeed we have verified that the Watcher above the city is gone. We have, with our vast technology and devices, not found a single trace. If he is gone forever or simply beyond our reach, we do not know for certain. But this means the season of exploration comes sooner than we believed. We must reach out to the sands, safer than we have been in generations, and seek what must be found. The secrets of this world we can finally reach for, and find maybe remnants of the old world, answers, and perhaps a future for all of us. There have been rumors of strange visitors to the city leading up to this event. Much hearsay and rumor has been spread. I assure you that I will find the truth here. For now I can say that indeed a traveler has arrived from the sands. How he has survived these many years is still a mystery, but we are getting to the finer points of it. And it shall be shared, as all information is freely shared throughout the populace. To the city of Severin, a bright future awaits. And that's where we'll end the session.
Do we need to commit to regicide again?
Awesome. No, the gods will come here and they'll just do
It
everything
was
over
actually
again.
super easy the first time, and we've received 0 blowback for it. So it's, what are
In
we
the
gonna do?
distant land beyond the portal, the city of Aloso burns. Yeah.
Well,
Oh wow.
the captain of the guard walks in and goes, "I am not getting paid enough for this stuff."
Yeah. Well, in fairness, he was terrified.
I think he's gonna lose his job.
He's gonna be very confused alongside everyone else
If he's still alive.
if he's still alive.
All right, guys. That was a session.
There's
I
finally
will
something.
end the stream there. We are probably going to take a little break because people have things and dates are awful. So we'll see when the next session is. Thanks for watching if you have. DnD. Start with killing rats in a basement, end up ascending a god. I think that's par for the course. Bye-bye.